When you were sitting on that couch and you guys were talking about this idea, did it come more from you just being creative, Matthew, or did it come from a place of we don't know what the future looks like? Maybe we should try something on our own to kind of help sustain ourselves.
It's so strange to like think back to it because there's just there's always been like kind of like a desire like for myself to become like an entrepreneur, like to expand beyond the teaching, because my job is to the point where, and I feel like a lot of people get to this point in their career where like you can stay at this job now until the day you die and get a raise every single year, but do you feel fulfilled?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel challenged?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you are reaching your potential? And even to this day, with our business almost being a year old, April 10th, I still don't feel that way. I still feel like there's more there. I still feel like there's more to accomplish in that aspect. Um, Not to say I don't like love my job and everything like that, but there's something else out there for us. There's another level to go to.
In this episode of Have a Seat on the Porch, we are joined by Matthew and Marley, creators of Quaratine Bleach Company. They'll talk to us about how they started their business in the beginning of a pandemic and how they also created a community. They're doing a mile a day challenge right now to inspire others to get up and get moving by logging and sending them their proof that they did a mile a day. So this is running for the next 75 days until April to celebrate their 1-year anniversary. Join us in listening to their story. I think you'll be able to connect and feel inspired. Also, you can check them out at Quarantine Bleach Co. on Instagram. Matthew and Marley, thanks for having a seat on the porch.
Matthew, you were a teacher leading up to this point with the quarantine, right?
Yeah.
When the pandemic started happening and you were put in that position, like, how did that go for you? How did it systematically go for you from like, what's this pandemic thing to, oh my gosh, I can't teach?
It was really unfortunate because it was near the beginning of the second semester and I teach a video production class. And in my class, we're on a very rigid schedule. We're always trying to like turn out new episodes, and I'm kind of the producer. I'm just making sure that everything is staying on track. And luckily, I had a great group of students at that point where we were on track. We had already turned out 6 episodes. We had like 3 episodes in the can ready to go. We released weekly. And then obviously everything just stopped right there. And the directive that I was given from my school was whatever student grades were, they were kind of solid unless students wanted to improve them. Obviously, my administration kept on saying, you know, this is the first frickin' time. That was like their whole entire thing. We're going to figure this out together.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, I wasn't able to stay in great contact with those students. And those students were losing the motivation because I wasn't there to kind of help them along in the process. So it was really discouraging there, at least from the teaching aspect, because it's something I love doing. And the video production class is something that I created myself. So it's just that level of ownership that I have my mark over everything on it. So when I actually like had to stop and say, hey, we're not going to produce anything else, it was really hard. And it was hard for those students too.
So Marley, when this kind of the same question to you, like how did that sequence of events happen for you at the start of the pandemic?
I think everything shut down on a Monday, and Matt was already off of work at that point. It was like March 15th. And we went to the salon I worked for, and the owner was there kind of in a panic, like, what are we going to do? What is this? I had an appointment that day and she ended up not showing up because everything had to be shut down by 3. And the owner of the salon kind of made a joke and was like, well, if you're going to vacation, you better leave now.
Oh, little did they know.
We actually went on Delta, bought 2 round trip tickets to Tampa for $5.50. And we went to Florida.
Feel free to put the scarlet letter on us.
We were like, if this is our chance, we gotta go. So we went for a few days, and that's when things started getting scarier in the news. And Matt was like, all right, this is it. We gotta go home. And that initial shutdown lasted 3 months for me. And, to stay relevant, you have to, in the hair world, you have to be on social media pumping out new content. The same thing for, our business now. So it was just, hair tutorials, how to blow dry your hair, how to style it during the pandemic, and, a messy top knot, or, your messy bun. But just staying relevant with online education. Before the shutdown, I was hired to be a L'Oreal educator. And that got shut down for now.
So on your website, you mentioned watching TikTok, Matthew, and understanding there may be an idea there for you. So if you can tell us, kind of just go through that with us, just kind of tell you how you came up with the idea for Quarantine Bleach Company.
Yeah, out of like all the social media apps, like TikTok was like the highest barrier to entry for someone. I just did not understand it at all, but like I just saw it exponentially blowing up. We actually started, well, I started my own personal TikTok like in January of last year, and I never used it. And then when you have nothing else to do, it just becomes kind of like the time suck. And I'm like, okay, I understand it now. It's just this endless loop, right? You can just sit on there and just lose track of time. It reminds me so much of like being at a slot machine or playing a video game. Because you just, boom, something new, right? And luckily, when I was doing that, they had a DIY section where people were doing spin art, and they were doing like macrame and all that stuff. But then I also saw tie-dye. And Marley will admit it too, we didn't have anything tie-dye like in our closet at all. It never like connected with me at all. But we saw that happening on TikTok, and I like to like say I don't have a creative bone in my body, but I know I do because of like what I do at school. But just kind of like doing the actual physical work part of it, that's kind of my barrier to entry. So that's where Marley came in, and I was like, hey, this looks really cool. Could you do this? And literally my wife's response for so many things is like, yeah, I can do that. I'm like, okay, like doesn't know anything about it, a lot of trial and error, which like I cannot wait to like just show. I mean, people can go on our Instagram, go all the way to the beginning and see like where we started. It was rough, but it was just kind of getting that idea from TikTok, being able to kind of make it our own. And now we are trying to actually build up that TikTok audience, which is also really hard. It's just another place we have to create content for. Oh my goodness.
Right. And it's a different kind of content too. That quick 30 seconds is tough. It's very tough.
It really is. I mean, it puts you in kind of like that frame of, be funny, be informative, or nothing will happen with it. Mm-hmm. And that's really what we have to kind of balance as a brand, which is extremely challenging.
I must say, it does help when you have an amazing beard.
This is, I mean, Will's got long hair, so I can appreciate it too. And this has not been an overnight thing. My wife hates me when I don't have facial hair. Like, she's not attracted to me when I don't have facial hair.
Oh.
That's not a joke, guys.
Uh-oh.
It's an issue, and I've let it gone completely out of control. There was this guy at the farmer's market in Plymouth, and I like pointed at him. I said, Marley, how long would it like make me look like him? Now, mind you, this guy looked like Jesus Christ. He said about 3 years. I said, you in it?
So, and you were doing classes, tie-dyeing classes, right? Throughout the summer?
Yep.
That was really about what the next evolution of our business, what we kind of envision it as. And we were literally to the point where we were like, we're going to like open up a place. Like, we're just going to just put everything that we have, everything that we've made so far, and just put this into a retail space, because we saw like how well the tie-dye classes were going and everything. And we did 3 or 4 classes?
Yeah.
We did like 3 classes with just like our close friends. Our close friends were like nice enough just to like help us, like assist and clean up. And it was kind of like a painting with a twist, but with tie-dye. And we still think like it has the potential. We still have all of the supplies to do these tie-dye classes. People would just like select a garment and then they would actually leave with something. And I think that's just such a cool thing, because like if you do painting with a twist or you do like painting pottery, you got to go pick it up later. But no, here you go. You can take it home with you. You can wear it. Like even yesterday when we were walking around downtown Northville, I said, could you imagine a storefront where you just saw people tie-dyeing sweatshirts? You would just be drawn in. Like it's that visual that people would just like say, hey, I need to find out what's going on here.
Your ability to reach the spectrum of people, because like Amy's perspective is she's single, she wants to go and meet somebody. I have a family. I can take my daughter to your class and she can have fun tie-dyeing a shirt. And it's like the best day she's ever had. So you're right. That reach, that eye-popping, that catch, like what's going on there, and that physicalness of you taking something away. Yeah, absolutely. If you had a workshop, we would have already been there for sure.
The quality, the thickness, I'm like, okay, when are you releasing the next launch? Because I like the Sherpas, and we wanted to ask you too, how did you come up with the names?
So, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
At the very beginning, we did a lot of colors because we started, Quarantine Bleach Co. originated at Walmart, going to Walmart and buying the sweatsuits, coming back, and they had basic colors. It was gray, black, and blue.
That's it.
So you can't just call it black, blue, and gray. So we were taking the word black and then putting it like, what is black in Italian and Spanish and these different languages. So that's kind of where the colors came from and the names.
Yeah.
And then that got boring. So then all of our shades of blue were based off islands like Antigua and Aruba and Curacao. Yeah.
Also, at sometimes we're always listening to music when we're creating and stuff. We would just go onto like a Spotify playlist and just go like this. And then like wherever our finger would stop, we would just pull out a word from that song. But it's funny because people who have bought stuff from us, like say people that bought like a sweatshirt from us when we were selling just on Instagram, like in April, they're like, oh yeah, I have a Noir. And we're like, what the hell was that? All the sweatshirts individually. So even though it was like 3 different black sweatshirts, all had different names.
Yeah.
And like people were like, no, I don't want the Noir. I want the Boyo. And it had like a different design on it.
Oh my God.
Never thought that we were going to have like a website or anything because people were so particular over their designs. And that's why like now if you go on our website, there's like a tie-dye disclaimer that says like, hey, it's a unique garment. We can't control like what happens with it when we do our process.
Yeah.
It's a simpler time.
Right, simpler time. Right. What a good feeling. Like to put that into perspective too, when we're in a pandemic. So to have that for you guys to something like that and for people to really just latch onto it, what an awesome feeling for that time. think that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I am forever thankful for our business. When this pandemic happened, we got married in 2019, and I still haven't changed my last name with the state yet, but with like the IRS, I did. So when I filed for that unemployment, they're like, who are you? And you could never get through. So I didn't receive any of that money till we got back to work. They finally figured it out, and then I got, the lump sum. But yeah, I'm forever thankful for everyone on Instagram. And it definitely, we just bought this house March 1st. So
Wow.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats. What a freaking year.
Yeah. So this little business definitely saved our house and paid our bills. And
I heard some things too that you mentioned about what you enjoy about the business and how you started becoming entrepreneurs and having this idea and having it evolve. So what advice would you have for someone who's looking to start their own business?
I want to hear the advice you'd give, and then I want to give my advice.
okay.
Because she owns 2 businesses now, guys. Okay, so
Lemon and Lavender.
Yes.
Love the name.
Thank you. Man, you just got to do it. I mean, I was terrified to, leave my salon of 6 years where that was my family, but I just felt like something was missing, and you just got to take that risk, and you'll never know until you do it. You got to keep at it and, stay strong. I mean, we started at 0, and we just started adding random people and, messaging them and sharing pictures and just connecting with people. And I think if you can do that on social media, the power of social media is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And if you stay relevant on social media and trying to connect with people, I think your business will grow and succeed.
And I think the advice that I would give is to not get discouraged. Like, this is not an easy journey. Like, for anybody that is like wanting to, take that leap or are looking for that little bit of encouragement, you have to understand that there are good days and there are bad days.
And we still have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's, there's situations where it's like you have that, I like to call it the little hater in your mind, where the little hater's like, no, man, you got to pack it up. We saw a lot of businesses like fold, recognizable businesses during this pandemic, but we also saw like some businesses that were started during the pandemic that have now folded. And that's because I think those people just got too discouraged. They had too many dark days. But when you have those days that are full of light and you are connecting with people and you're delivering product on time and you're giving out a great product, those are the days that keep you going and push you forward. And now that we're almost a year into it, I'm happy to say that those dark days have helped us appreciate those really bright days.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's a beautiful thing to see something other than hate on social media, right? And a lot of tension. Here is something you've created a product that brings people joy. And your joy is put into it too. And I think that's why people love the product, because again, you're so real and you're connecting, but it's something you love doing. And it's not just about money. It's about really connecting and saying, hey, it's okay no matter where you are. We'll be your cheerleader. We'll be your champion. Just keep doing it. And that's something for our mission, is really just to connect, to like get back to when we were growing up and everybody sat on the porch and had a conversation, right? Like, people had swings, people left their doors unlocked, and just trying to simulate, like, let's get back to a sense of community, which you really have done. And I love the farmers markets because you do have repeat people coming through and you get to know your audience.
The community aspect, that reminds me of something that we're doing right now, where I don't know if you've seen it on our social media, but we have like over 30 people a day running a mile a day, leading up to our
1 year.
1 year anniversary of April 10th. So
Yay.
that's like where the challenge ends. And it's the reason like we did this mile a day thing was it was something that I started doing back in 2018. And during the pandemic, I stopped. I missed 1 day at day 789. I had run at least a mile a day for 789 days.
Wow.
1 day in June or something
We
like
were
that.
on a boat.
We were on a boat and had a little too many pops and fell asleep without running my mile. And she can probably vouch for me, but I was like devastated with myself because I was just really let down. And I was trying to find a reason, trying to find something to start it back up. And then like this idea popped into my head with the QVC mile a day. And now like it's so cool. Like all these people are now integrating that into our lives. They're tagging us in all of our stuff. Hey, I ran more than a mile. Like just that like little bit of encouragement that is built through the community that we created. You know, it doesn't even have to do with a shirt or anything like that. It just has to do with, hey, here's a great group of people who will encourage you in accomplishing something that you didn't think was possible.
That's what I love about when I first met you two at the Northville Greenery Market back in December. It was just like you two have the ability to really connect with people, and it's not even about the product, it's about how you connect. So I think that's super important, having a business, and for you two to just power on and struggle on. I think you're going to connect with more people to say, we're doing what we can, but this is real. Like, this is what's going on right now.
In both of our full-time jobs, like, sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Full-time jobs, it's so much about the relationships you build with people. Me being a teacher, Marley owning her own salon, like people are like coming there for those services or coming there to learn something. But in order for that to actually occur, like you have to build those connections with people. So I think that's just something that we do naturally, but doing it from a business aspect, it's definitely one of the things that we see a lot of businesses struggle to get to that point. Like you can have a great product, you can do all these great things, but people care about people at the end of the day. A shirt is just a shirt at the end of the day. And that's what we always constantly have to remind ourselves of.
So where can people go to buy your creations? Where can they get them?
So you can go to quarantinebleachco.com. I even think tiedyeClass.com.
Oh yeah. DETtiedye.com. I bought like every single domain. I went on like a spree. And, tiedyeClass.com is a good domain to have, guys. Once everything opens up, like we said, right?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's everything is kind of like through the website right now. We're looking forward to getting back into the swing of all the farmers markets. Hopefully getting some employees. That way we can do multiple markets at once. We're trying to do like 3 markets every single Saturday.
This is awesome. I really want to thank you guys for spending the time with us today. You didn't have to. I really appreciate it.
No, we appreciate the opportunity to really like tell the story behind everything, and also to give people just kind of a snapshot of where we're at right now.
I can't wait to get out and actually see you guys.
Yes.
Honestly.
I'm a hugger, so that's what I'm going to do when it's safe. I'm totally hugging everybody.
I'm a hugger. I'm a crier.
Oh, yes.
I'm a Cancer, so.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing with us again. It's been an absolute pleasure.
I love going to work every day with my best friend.
Oh.